What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blueblood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, 8th Division, World Champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, and currently the WBA Welterweight World Champion, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, has a dilemma as his coach and trainer don't want him to face off against UFC superstar Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor competed in boxing against undefeated 5 division world champion, former pound for pound king, and rival foe of Manny Pacquiao, being Floyd Money Mayweather, right? That was his only boxing match. And now Conor McGregor is saying that he has the itch to compete in the sport of boxing again. Conor McGregor made upwards of $100 million in his fight with Floyd Money Mayweather. And now it seems as if Conor McGregor is trying to get another payday. He just recently fought in the UFC against Cowboy Cerrone, and he was successful in that. Now he's trying to look to get back in the sport of boxing. There's more money in the sport of boxing than there is in the UFC for the likes of a Conor McGregor, who's a mega star in UFC. But the money in boxing is enormous compared to the money in the UFC. Now, the structure of the UFC, in my opinion, is better than the sport of boxing. But the pay in the sport of boxing is bigger than the pay in the UFC. So Conor McGregor is looking to land another major payday against another legend and iconic boxer in Manny Pacquiao, like he did with Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather stopped him in the fight. Now Conor McGregor is going on the binge, calling out Manny Pacquiao and saying that he also calls out Floyd Mayweather, says that he carried Floyd Mayweather in the fight. He was the star in the fight. He was the show. He was one of the shows, but he wasn't the show. Floyd Mayweather is the show. Now, they did enormous pay-per-view numbers, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. And a lot of people claim to not even want to see that fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor because you already foresaw the outcome, seeing as though Conor McGregor never competed in the sport of boxing. So with that said, Conor McGregor is trying to campaign for his opportunity for him to be the person that Manny Pacquiao fights in his next fight. There is also 4 division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia, who has campaigned at the welterweight division now 2 times. He fought undefeated unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Earl the True Spence Jr. And he also fought Jesse Vargas. And he came up short against Errol Spence Jr., big time to say the least. And against Jesse Vargas, he struggled in the first half. He came on in the second half of the fight, and he was victorious. He wants to capture a 5th world title in the 5th weight class. So he's looking to be great. He's looking to cement his legacy, and he wants to have the opportunity once again to try to attempt to become a 5 division world champion, as he came up short against Errol Spence Jr. So he's looking to do so against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But it looks like there is a possibility, according to Manny Pacquiao's team, that Manny Pacquiao may not even compete in 2020, right? He may hold off to early 2021. We might see Manny Pacquiao in January, February of 2021. Manny Pacquiao has, political obligations in the country, in the Philippines. Manny Pacquiao has a lot going on outside the ring. So Manny Pacquiao definitely says that he wants to compete. There was reports at one point in time that Manny Pacquiao was looking to face middleweight former unified world champion Gennady Triple G Golovkin. And now Freddie Roach, his trainer, legendary trainer, iconic trainer, Hall of Fame trainer, Freddie Roach stated that Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight Gennady Golovkin, but he was against it. So he wanted to talk Manny Pacquiao out of it. Manny Pacquiao's team also was stating that Manny Pacquiao, that's a dream of his to capture a 9th world title in the 9th division, right? So Manny Pacquiao is just looking to add more icing to the cake that's already his legacy and it's already solidified. So it's been highly, expected that Manny Pacquiao fight Mikey Garcia. But it's a huge money fight for him and Conor McGregor. The thing that stands in the way of that is the fact that with the pandemic and with social distancing and fans not being able to attend live sporting events, there being no live revenue being brought in, no live gates and things of that nature, a Conor McGregor Manny Pacquiao fight would do well for pay-per-view. And seeing as though there won't be any fans in attendance, it will be a pay-per-view event. It won't do as successful as it was if fans were allowed to attend in person. So you bank on fans being allowed to attend in person. You understand? And so due to the fact that fans are not going to be allowed in the sporting events in the near future, more than likely you're not going to get a Conor McGregor Manny Pacquiao fight because it does nothing for the crossover sport, selling point. Because fans are not going to be allowed to attend it. And to sit at home and watch it, those types of events are better in person. Because you pretty much know the outcome of Conor McGregor stepping in the ring, in a boxing ring with Manny Pacquiao. His trainer, Manny Pacquiao's trainer and manager, said that he believes that Manny Pacquiao gets rid of Conor McGregor in under 3 rounds, 3 rounds or under, right? And I don't doubt that. Floyd Mayweather's approach, styles make fights. Floyd Mayweather's approach to Conor McGregor is going to be totally different than Manny Pacquiao's approach to Conor McGregor. Manny Pacquiao is seek and destroy. Floyd Mayweather's a chess match, right? He carried the fight. Manny Pacquiao is not going to have any of that, right? He's coming forward. He's coming, aggressive. That's the only way he knows how to box. So with that said, I do believe that it would be more action than a Floyd Mayweather fight, but I don't think it'll last as long as the Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, as far as Mikey Garcia has a high ring generalship, high ring IQ, great counter punching ability, great boxing ability, but he has slow feet, and I think that will prove to be the difference in the fight with him and Manny Pacquiao. But he likens himself to a bigger version of Mexican superstar 4-division world champion Juan Manuel Marquez, who in his last fight, they fought 4 times. In his last fight with Manny Pacquiao, he knocked Manny Pacquiao out cold, face down, right? And there was a lot of controversial wins in the other 3 fights that people thought that Juan Manuel Marquez won those fights. So Mikey Garcia likens his style and his approach to Marquez, and he believes that he could give Manny Pacquiao the same type of trouble and problems that Juan Manuel Marquez did. I think that he's not as savvy with his counterpunch ability as Juan Manuel Marquez. I don't think he is as sharp as Juan Manuel Marquez was on the inside. I think Juan Manuel Marquez was a better inside fighter than Mikey Garcia is. So I think that that's going to prove to be the difference, right? Mikey Garcia is very strong. I think Mikey Garcia has more power than Juan Manuel Marquez ever had. But as far as ability on the inside and inside fighting, I think that Juan Manuel Marquez was a better inside fighter, and that's what gave him the edge in the Pacquiao fights. That's what gave him the ability to give Manny Pacquiao so much trouble, because his ability to fight on the inside. So he was able to trade with Manny Pacquiao on the inside and counter Manny Pacquiao on the inside and time Manny Pacquiao on the inside. His timing with Manny Pacquiao was impeccable, that being Juan Manuel Marquez. The difference in his fights with Manny Pacquiao is that in all his fights with Manny Pacquiao, he kept getting dropped in those fights. And Manny Pacquiao was winning 10-8 rounds and 10-7 rounds in every single fight. He was dropped at some point in time. The first fight, he was dropped 3 times. And every fight after that, he was dropped. So that proved to be the difference in the fight, because they were still very, very close fights. First fight ended in a draw, and he was dropped 3 times in that fight. So that just goes to show and tell you how close those the first fight was, and all 4 fights was actually. And he was dropped in the last fight, but he dropped Manny Pacquiao twice. The last drop was a knockout. He stoned him, right? But he was dropped in that fight as well and hurt in that fight as well. So, like I said, I think his timing and his inside ability is slightly better than Mikey Garcia's. So I think that Manny Pacquiao will make better adjustments against Mikey Garcia more so than he did with Marquez. But it's still going to be a close fight, because Mikey Garcia sits down on all his punches, and he does have a high ring generalship, a high ring IQ. So I'm definitely expecting a very close fight, not as close as the Marquez fights. I don't think that Mikey Garcia is going to hit the deck, because I think he's just more sturdy his base is just more sturdy than Marlon Marquez. He doesn't take as many chances at Marquez. So that I think he won't hit the deck, but I think that Manny Pacquiao will win the fight. But needless to say, we got to see what the Senate of the Philippines and an 8-division world champion, legend, iconic boxer, and the current WBA champion has in store for us next as boxing fans. So let's just see how this all plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop the comments in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.